If you only had one question, what would be the most important question you could ever ask anybody? And of over all my years of research, I have come up with what I think is the most important question you ever ask anybody. And you can role play with yourself. And the question is, tell me about the very first job you ever had you got paid for. It's not about the last job. What most of us ask people is tell us about the last job. Number one, everybody has a canned answer for their last job. The most important question is tell me about the first job you ever had you got paid for. Because you're going to watch the movie from the beginning to the end, not from the end to the beginning. Let me give you a quick example. Working with a restaurant group, talking to their group, asked for a volunteer, one of their district managers comes up, and I said to him, would you mind telling the group about the very first job you ever had you got paid for? And he said, my first job, I was 14 years old. I got a job washing dishes in a Chinese restaurant. He wasn't Chinese. I said, how did you get a job washing dishes in a Chinese restaurant? He said, they had a sign in the window and I needed a job and I walked in. I said, well, tell me about the job. He said, well, I worked every day after school and all days, Saturdays and Sundays. I said, did you like it? No, he said, I hated it. I said, well, what were the three most important things you learned? And he said, number one, I learned wet rice is heavy. He's got a sense of humor. Number two, I learned to work hard. And number three, I learned to be dependable. And I really knew number four, you do whatever you have to do. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, as I told you, I hated this job. But I did it anyway, until I was 16 and I could get a real job. I said, well, why did you do it? He said, because my dad died. I had a younger brother and a younger sister, and there was no insurance, and I had to help Mom pay the bills. You do whatever you have to do when you need to do it. Today, he's 27 years old. He's not a manager in a restaurant, he's a district manager. He has 9 restaurants under him because he's still doing whatever he has to do to get the job done. It's not about the last job, it's all about the first job.